So the Vikings beat the Bears.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Let me start by defending Kirk Cousins, which I always do.
The Kirk Cousins Award for an unbelievably stupid play by a quarterback.
It seems like he's getting some of the criticism for what happened in this game. If you just look at that first half, okay, the Vikings are ahead 21-3. They are completely dominating the Bears. The Bears are just ready to have their throat stepped on. And the Vikings have the ball at midfield, and it's third down, and Cousins gets sacked. Okay, you're at the 45-yard line now. There's like 2 minutes left in the half. You punt it away, and you probably go into halftime up 21-3, right? Or maybe you even stop them, force them to punt, and then you get the ball back and get another field goal or another touchdown, and it's actually 24-3 or 28-3 at the half. That's what it should have been. It should have been something 2-3. Through no fault of Kirk Cousins, this idiot punter we have shanks the punt, and there's a penalty on the Vikings on that play. Somehow we're at the 45-yard line, and the Bears get the ball at the 50. 5 yards. What in the heck? We get the ball back in the first half. Cousins drives us into field goal range, and our idiot kicker misses the kick. So even though the Bears scored, we still should have gotten 3 more points. It should have been 24-10, again, at the worst. And then, of course, the Bears get the ball to start the second half, and we let them drive right down to score. And so all of a sudden it's 21-16. And how would you feel? Not only if you're Kirk Cousins, but you're the Vikings offense. You have played this flawless first half. You drive down the field 3 times. You get no help from the defense. The defense never gives you a short field ever, ever, ever. You drive for 3 touchdowns in that first half. And basically the next time you touch the ball, you're ahead by 5. And all the momentum is gone. Okay, and it's not your fault. When all the momentum gets sucked out and all the air gets sucked out of the building, you're going to change how you play. When you play this perfect first half and your defense just poops it away and your special teams just crap all over you. And yeah, you threw an interception in the second half when the Vikings were on the ropes. That happens, okay? You play a perfect first half and then your whole team collapses. Well, you're bound to make a bad play too. And you just notice how, like, when things start going wrong, when the punter shanks a punt, then everything falls apart. Everything. Special teams fall apart. Defense falls apart. Offense falls apart. It's like the Vikings are one sentient being. Like one being. It's like the Blob. You know, that movie from like the late 80s, a remake of the original one. But this is like purplish blob that just like eats people and consumes them. It's like the Vikings are this blob that they all act the same way when things go bad, because they lose all their individuality. Or maybe it's like that movie The Thing, that John Carpenter movie where there's this like thing that can take the shape of different people. It can consume them and then take on their form. I wonder if that's what we've got here. If all these Vikings are just, I wonder if it's not actually Kirk Cousins, it's just some alien that's consumed him and is just acting like him. That might explain some of his weird behavior. But let's not pretend that the Vikings defense was so good in the first half. And that, they just suddenly started to collapse. No, they were terrible. The first play, the Bears come out. The first play, they get a delay of game. On the first play, before the first snap, they get delay of game. They suck that bad. And then on the next play, they do some dump-off screen, and it gets 30 yards. Fields had a guy open in the end zone that he just completely missed on that first drive. The Vikings were not playing great defense at any point in this game. Let's not pretend that we held them to 3 points. The Bears held themselves to 3 points.
I hold myself in contempt!
And there was also that touchdown run by Fields that got called back that was just a disaster of a play defensively. It was a bailout call on that block in the back. I mean, the Vikings didn't deserve that call. And our offense couldn't have done any more in that first half. This game reminded me a little bit of a Week 5 game. I think it was 2019. I think it was Week 5 against the Eagles where the Vikings were just dominating. And then they started to collapse. They let the Eagles get a touchdown in the second quarter, let the Eagles get a touchdown to start the second half. But the Vikings managed to step up and get 2 more touchdowns and put them away. In this game, they weren't able to do that. They were a better team in 2019. Did they make the playoffs that year? They did. That's right. That was the year they beat the Saints when Kyle Rudolph didn't push off. So we thought their special teams were decent, but the special teams are way overrated. Like, even on the first punt that the Bears had, Rager fumbled it, and then there was a penalty on Boyd. I mean, our special teams, overrated. Joseph can't make a kick beyond 50 yards. Our defense just not being able to keep contain. It's like the Vikings, every time they see a running quarterback, it's like they're seeing a Yeti or something, or Bigfoot.
It's all in how you look at it.
It's like, I didn't think that existed. What do I do? I mean, go back to Steve Young in like the 80s or Michael Vick, Tom Brady. I mean, it's just like we can't handle a quarterback who moves. It's insane. I don't know if it's the scheme. Seems like a terrible scheme. Danielle Hunter is like invisible. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know if it's the talent on defense, the scheme, or both. I think it's both. And everybody's talking up Dantzler. Well, yeah, he made a great strip. And I guess one thing I'll say is they are 4-1, and they are winning these games that they seemingly should be losing. And I think maybe at a certain point, you start to believe you're going to find a way to win when you win enough times, when you come from behind enough times. You start to believe you're going to find a way to win. And there is something to be said for that breeding more winning, I think. Anyway, our awards for this week. The My Ex-Wife at One Point Being Attractive award for something I'm pretty sure I hallucinated. That goes to Kirk Cousins. Now, there are two candidate plays. There was one play in the first half where he stepped up in the pocket, stepped forward, and threw a perfect dart on the run to Justin Jefferson. But the play that wins it was when he escaped the pressure and ran for a first down late in the fourth and didn't slide short. One thing I didn't hallucinate was him looking really awkward when he stretched out for that first down. It was very diarrhea-esque, but the nipple stiffness award for the point where my nipples got as hard as diamonds. There were three candidates. One was in the second quarter when the Vikings got a sack on third down. It just looked like they were dominating. They were going to dominate this game, and I was so excited. And then later in the second quarter, there's this beautiful pass Cousins made to Justin Jefferson where it's like, oh boy, these nipples. And then the big one was that backward pass to Jefferson that he then threw across the field to Cook, where Cook almost got the touchdown. It was just like the Vikings were toying with the Bears, and my nipples got as hard as diamonds on that. So it was like when I took that shower at that hotel in Chicago. Check that out. I can like get dual wetness. And when they scored that touchdown to go up 21-3, all I could think was, they're going to turn this into a coin flip. I'm just not sure how. And, 5 minutes later, it was 21-16, and then we were in a battle. Summer of George defense award, that goes to the Bears, who, third quarter, they just kind of didn't cover Justin Jefferson. Could also go to the Bears on that 2-point conversion at the end, where Cousins takes the snap. Cousins is staring him down from the snap, staring at Jefferson. And the Bears are like, I think we're going to go after this fullback here. The Mike Zimmer's nipples as hard as diamonds award goes to that flea flicker. The Vikings did a flea flicker, and it was a dump off screen to Munt, the tight end. That was they went through all that flea flicker for that, and that just seems like something Mike Zimmer would love. It's like I don't want these trick plays, but if you're gonna do it, do a very, very, very conservative, lame play that will get nothing. The Jim Kleinsasser award for someone so slow he couldn't outrun the Blob. That goes to Irv Smith. It was a third down pass, kind of towards the sideline. And, a normal player would have probably been able to pick up a first down there, but Irv didn't even get close. The Patrick Peterson Award for piss poor effort, that goes to Patrick Peterson. I don't even have a play. He annoys the crap out of me. I was listening to him. He got interviewed on Dan Barrero today, and listening to him, it's just like, we'll maybe play better next time if we feel like it. It's just, this guy, the Everson Griffin Award for losing contain, that goes to Cameron Dantzler on that scramble Justin Fields had, where Danielle Hunter had the inside rush with getting inside pressure, and Cameron Dantzler decides, I'm just going to run right behind Danielle Hunter and not run to the outside and keep Justin Fields in the pocket, and Fields ran for first down. The Moab sighting, that was on the Bears' final drive when on 2nd and 19, just a dump off pass to Montgomery, and he just runs and like seemingly he should have been tackled like 5 yards short of the first down, but we'll let him get the first down. And even on that last drive, I mean, the Vikings got the strip by Dantzler, but they were not stopping the Bears. And if we hadn't gotten that strip, the Bears probably scored and they go for 2. And if they get the 2-pointer, they win. I mean, it's just like living on the edge all the time. And last, I want to close with something positive. The Goosebumps Award, where I literally got goosebumps, was when Dantzler stripped that ball at the end. Even though it's just this kind of struggle to win all these games, usually against teams that aren't that good. And it's somewhat even discouraging how these games always are a coin flip. It was nice to see a play like that. You tend not to see that. The Vikings make plays like that. In the past couple of years, it's been, we let them drive all the way to the goal line.
Throw it at Rhodes.
And maybe we'll stop them in the end zone.
This 3rd and goal, Allen and Fant, and incomplete coverage by Curse. It's over.
If we're lucky.
Thank you.
We don't make that big turnover to keep them from getting, down close to scoring. And so I did get goosebumps. It just felt good because, that we are 4-1. It was a big play by a guy who, even though Dantzler has some issues, he does seem like he's the one guy on the defense who's capable of making a play when it's needed. So I don't know. I felt good. And they are 4-1. You can't, just can't complain too much. And then they might play Gumby next week, although Tua might play. I think people are marking that down as a win. You better not. Better not. It's going to be a coin flip. Just be prepared. Even if they get up by 50 points in the first quarter, it's going to be a coin flip.
Thank you for not throwing it at Rhodes. This is stupid.
Last, my shameless plug of the week. I actually spend, 1 or 2 weeks a month in Minnesota because of my job. My company has facilities in Minnesota and the Boston area where I live. And I'll be in Minnesota in a couple weeks. I'll be doing stand-up comedy at Rick Bronson's House of Comedy on Tuesday, November 1st. Rick Bronson's House of Comedy at the Mall of America on November 1st.